The steel storm, U.S. tariffs pummel UK steel giants, triggering a scramble for survival. The ripple effects of President Biden's 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum imports are sending shockwaves through the UK steel industry, leaving giants like Tata Steel and British Steel battling for survival. Testifying before Parliament's Business Committee on Tuesday, executives painted a grim picture of dwindling orders, escalating compensation demands, and a looming flood of underpriced foreign steel. The situation highlights the precarious position of the UK steel sector, caught in the crosshairs of global trade disputes and struggling with existing disadvantages against its EU counterparts. Rajesh Nair, CEO of Tata Steel UK, delivered a stark warning. Customers are actively canceling orders and demanding compensation for potential future contracts, all in an effort to avoid the hefty new tariffs. This isn't simply a matter of lost revenue, it's a crisis of confidence, threatening the very viability of operations. The immediate impact of the tariffs is undeniable, a significant cost increase on imported metals, but the long-term implications are far more insidious. Companies that previously relied on U.S. markets are now desperately searching for alternative buyers, creating a potential deluge of underpriced steel flooding the UK market. This trade diversion, as it's known, threatens to undercut domestic producers and further destabilize an already fragile industry. Alan Bell, British Steel's chief commercial officer, echoed these concerns, emphasizing the urgent need to prevent this influx of cheaper, diverted steel. He advocated for swift, targeted measures to protect the domestic industry, prioritizing immediate safeguards over retaliatory actions against the U.S. This pragmatic approach stands in contrast to the potentially protracted process of engaging in trade disputes, a strategy that could prove disastrous for the already struggling steelmakers. The immediate halt to some transatlantic sales highlights the brutal reality of the situation. The tariffs are not merely a theoretical threat, but an immediate and crippling blow. The UK's post-Brexit independent trade policy further complicates the situation. While the EU is actively working to prevent diverted steel from entering its market, the UK government's response appears comparatively sluggish, despite assurances of support from Prime Minister Sunak, Keir Starmer, and Business Secretary Jonathan Reynolds. This disparity is particularly alarming, with Nair highlighting a concerning £60 per tonne price difference between EU and UK steel, a stark illustration of the disadvantage already faced by UK steel producers. This price gap is exacerbated by the persistently higher energy costs that already plague the UK industry, creating a perfect storm of economic headwinds. The predicament facing Tata Steel is particularly acute. Once the UK's largest producer of steel from iron ore, its Port Talbot plant, in South Wales, is currently undergoing a significant transformation, replacing polluting blast furnaces with cleaner electric arc furnaces. This massive undertaking, coupled with last year's job cuts of 2,500 positions at Port Talbot, underscores the ongoing challenges faced by the company. The current crisis only intensifies the pressure, putting further strain on an already vulnerable operation. The question isn't simply whether Tata Steel and British Steel can weather this storm, but whether the UK government can provide the necessary support to prevent a catastrophic collapse of a vital sector of its economy. The situation demands immediate and decisive action to mitigate the damage and safeguard the future of the UK steel industry. The absence of a swift and effective response risks not only economic hardship, but also the loss of highly skilled jobs and the potential erosion of a crucial national asset. The time for decisive action is now. Failure to act decisively will allow this storm to rage unchecked, potentially devastating an industry already fighting for survival. The future of UK steel hangs precariously in the balance. The impact extends far beyond the steel mills themselves. The knock-on effect on associated industries and local communities could be profound and long-lasting. The government must demonstrate genuine commitment, not just empty promises, to support the steel industry through this crisis and ensure its long-term viability. The stakes are incredibly high, and the consequences of inaction are simply too great to bear. The call for immediate intervention is not just a plea from struggling businesses, but a critical necessity for the overall economic health and stability of the United Kingdom. The urgency cannot be overstated. The future of UK steel is being decided now, and the decisions made today will have ramifications for years to come.